Hi, this is Deborah Roth from Spirited Living, and I am delighted to be launching this first video in the Spiritual Energy series with the Wellness Universe, a wonderful community that I've been a part of for the last year and will continue to be for the long term. It's a terrific resource both for wellness professionals, whether you're a body worker or a coach like me or an interfaith minister like me, or whether you're simply looking for just top-notch wellness resources. There's so much available there. So if you are not watching this at the Wellness Universe, if you're watching it in my YouTube channel, Goddess of One, then be sure to go to thewellnessuniverse.com and check out all the resources there. You can find the blog that accompanies this video there. It's a wonderful place to know about. So what I'm doing in collaboration with them, starting right now, is offering a different theme, a different spiritual energy theme each month at the beginning of the month, at the calendar month, not directly connected to the new moon, which many of you know that's one of my things. I've been leading new moon circles for the last 20 plus years and doing full moon meditations on the phone for equally as long. This is really tapping into the solar energy that we're experiencing, that we move through. As the sun moves through all of the signs in the zodiac, so do we feel the light of that energy affecting us. So right now, the sun moved into Capricorn on the winter solstice, as it always does, on December 21st. And then each month, it moves into the next zodiac sign. Really, it could be anywhere between the 18th of the month and the 22nd of the month. But right now, for the next several weeks, we will be in this energy, in the solar energy of Capricorn, which is an earth sign, which is about creating discipline and structure in our lives. So the theme that I've chosen for us to focus on this month, in the month of January, is setting healthy boundaries, kind of along the lines of that, creating a really strong container for ourselves as we enter the new year so that we can take care of ourselves and make sure that all of our needs are being met. So the notion of creating boundaries, of setting healthy boundaries, is a huge one in terms of our self-care. How do we do that? How do we set good boundaries intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, with our feelings? Obviously, physically, with our bodies. That's always a big one. Because, of course, we are all entitled, from an intellectual standpoint, we're all entitled to our opinions. If there was ever the right kind of entitlement, it would be that no one else can tell you what you should be thinking, feeling, who should be in your space or not. That's the physical process of setting boundaries. And spiritually, what your belief system should be. One of the easiest places to start in terms, and it's not easy necessarily to carry out, but it's pretty straightforward, is learning to say no. Many of us, particularly women, have been socialized since the time we were little that we should be taking care of everybody else first and then eventually take care of us. The problem with that is that too many of us have really taken that on to, big time, to the point where we're suffering. So in order to reclaim our connection to ourselves, to really heighten our own sense of self-worth, of self-esteem, of self-respect, the idea is to begin to say no to those people who are making demands to us that override our needs. Early on, when I first started coaching 20-something years ago, my very first coach, who had been a therapist before she became a coach, told me probably the best definition of codependent that I had heard. And that is when you make someone else's needs more important than your own. And this is where creating healthy boundaries really comes in. What do you need to do to say to someone, I can't be around you? If it's at work, sometimes you need to close your door if you have to do something. Maybe you need to be turning off the ping notification on your phone. Electronically, It's not watching news right before you go to bed. That's setting a boundary for how much your system can handle. Some people can do that. You have to know what you're capable of handling. I can't. Likewise, I've set our bedroom as a politics-free zone. Not that my husband and I disagree politically, but I don't want it in there. So I've set that boundary and he respects it. Or it could be unfriending someone in Facebook, or physically leaving the room if one of your kids is getting particularly nasty. So all of those are really concrete, practical examples of what you can do to begin to set really powerful, healthy boundaries. Basically, you want to look if there's any place in your life on any of those 4 levels, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that you don't feel safe, that you feel either disrespected, afraid, angry, frustrated. Take a look at all those and see if you're putting someone else's needs ahead of your own. And think about where, generally, if you've been doing that, you're a nice person. Niceness is terrific, but if we become people-pleasing to the point that we're doormats, not so great. So you will get pushback. When you start setting boundaries and when you start to say no, people will push back because they're not used to that. They're used to you doing everything for them. But if you want to create this strong container to keep you, together, and to keep you strong, to keep you whole and healthy through the whole rest of 2021, then you got to start taking care of yourself this way. So I've given you some practical examples. Some of the spiritual ones, the magical ones as I refer to them, there's practical and magical ways that we can really embody these themes that I'll be taking you through each month. I'll lead you on a very short little meditation, but create some affirmations that you can either post somewhere during the day. I am healthy and whole and my own person. Something that very clearly states that you are whole unto yourself. I will also teach you a very sweet little chant. I love to sing, so I love doing chants when I do my circles. And this one is very much about being one unto yourself. And the other, what I'll do very briefly, just to give you the sense of it, is you know what? I'm just going to do it right now. So close your eyes for a minute. And just take a deep breath, settle into, and you can do this longer than we have right now at some point, but right now just settle into your body for just a moment. And I'm going to take you on a teeny little taste of creating some psychic self-defense for yourself. And you may have heard of this. Basically, as you sit in this space, in this warm space that you've created for yourself, maybe turn off phones, closing that door. Just imagine yourself with each in-breath drawing energy from the earth, always grounding for us, always perfect for this Capricorn time of year too, which is an earth sign. And then as you exhale, allow yourself to breathe out and form this beautiful, sparkling white bubble around you that serves as your own aura of protection, where you define what is able to permeate that bubble and what you want to release through it. But it is your first line of defense in working with the world, in dealing in your relationships, at work, at home, wherever you are. So hold that notion, that idea of at any moment you could be on a subway, you could be someplace in a crowd of people, but just allow yourself to breathe, take a breath, feel your feet firmly grounded, and just imagine yourself encased, enveloped in this protective bubble, this white energy surrounding you. So kind of hold that. Let's breathe again and let that go. I want to come back to our space so we don't fly off somewhere into the Netherlands. And I will let you, before we wrap up, there is a wonderful book, Anne Catherine, 2 first names, Boundaries, Where I Begin and You End, is a wonderful book. And here, very briefly, is the chant I want to share with you. Belonging, to no one, to no one but to myself, belonging to no one, to no one but to myself. So just keep singing that, reminding yourself that first and foremost, if you want to be a powerful person in the world, a loving partner, worker, mother, sister, whatever the role is that you're playing, you must first take care of yourself, and do that by setting healthy boundaries. Thanks so much for being with me this month, and join us again next month when we look at Aquarius and how we can honor our individuality. Thanks so much. Have a great month.